When planning out your name in perspective on the square paper, there are multiple ways you can go about putting in your name. So I want to just show you a couple of options. So for option number 1, you can do your name straight across and then have your vanishing point be down here. Option number 2, you could have your name curve and put your vanishing point down here. The same could be true opposite ways. So you could have a straight line with your name going here. You could have your name curved, vanishing point at the top. You could also have your name going down with a vanishing point on the side, or reversed, name going down, vanishing point on this side. You could have your name go diagonal and have your vanishing point either on this side or this side. You could have your name go zigzag. You could have your name wave and then find a spot that's kind of away from your name that you can place your vanishing point. You could have, if you're doing your full name and maybe your last name, you could have your first name up here, last name down here, or last initial, and then put your vanishing point in the middle. So there are lots of different options. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in my name. And one of the things you're going to do when you first start, once you've figured out how you want your name to look and where you think your vanishing point might be, you're going to start adding your name. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to place my name, freehanding this. You want your letters to be fairly large. Now obviously the size of your letters are going to depend on how many letters you have. So if I did Katie, I might make my letters larger. If I'm doing Catherine, there are more letters in that, so then maybe I might make my letters a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go here and I'm just going to kind of think about what I want to do here. And maybe I am going to do Catherine. And then maybe my paper turns. Maybe it goes off the page a little bit. Oh, I don't think I want that way. I want to be able to read it, so that may not be the best choice. Maybe my Y needs to go this way, and I have to kind of get creative. And notice my letters are starting to get smaller, so I might have started my letters a little bit too big, and then I might end with, and I think I made this come down too long. You might want to begin by drawing very lightly, so that obviously if you make a mistake or you need to change something, your lines are not going to show if you have to go erase. So there's my Catherine. Now I just kind of whipped that together. I bet you can do a much better job than I just did. And my vanishing point is going to go right there. So make sure you plan everything out. Your letters are nice and large. When I say large, they don't necessarily have to be tall, but they should be kind of thick. I would not be doing something that is super skinny. I would stay away from things that are really tiny and skinny. It's going to be harder and more difficult to kind of see where the lines are and to make that go into perspective, just because it's smaller and it's harder to work with, versus a larger letter would be easier to see where the lines are and to kind of know where to stop them. So I would keep everything a little bit bigger. So that's what you're going to do. Once you have your whole name in and you know where your vanishing point is going to go, then you're going to work on one letter at a time. So that means that you might make your guidelines going back to all the corners that you think you would see. I'm not going to see that one. And now I decide how far back I want to end it. And then whatever I do, I have to kind of try and keep the same distance. and then erase my extra guidelines I don't need. And you want to do one letter at a time. So now that my K is complete, I'm going to move on to my A. When my A is complete, I'll move on to my T, so on and so forth until you are all done. So that's how you're going to be working on your name, getting your perspective in, and then you'll be checking in with me before the next step. Have fun.